Anybody else want to volunteer to sing? Since take Tanya's place. Molly, you want to come down and sing? No. You don't have to come down here. You can just sing from up there. We'll listen. Can't see her whole face. I don't know what she's doing too. All right. If you have Bibles, turn me to Mark chapter 3. I'm in the right chapter. I'm in the right book tonight. All right. Verses 7 to actually through 21 tonight. So, okay. So how do you handle pressure? Pressure comes. Don't we all have pressure in our lives? Yeah. Now, some of you senior adults, well, I'm close to one. You've got so much life experience. You can handle anything that comes. It don't really matter. Well, let me give you some instructions, just in case you have this as some pressure, how to react to a hungry python. You've encountered a python that's been out hiking in the Appalachian Trail or somewhere. No, you've been doing that. This is given to Peace Corps men serving in Brazil, okay? This is what they're told to do, so remember this. It might come in handy. Remember not to run away, because python is faster. Okay, so don't run. The thing to do is lie flat on the ground, on your back, with your feet together, arms at your side, head well down. Okay. The python will try to push its head under you, experimenting at every possible point. Keep calm. Keep calm. You must allow him to swallow your foot. It is quite painless, and it will take a long time. If you lose your head and you struggle, he'll quickly whip his coils around you, so he'll strangle you. Okay, so you don't want to do that. He thinks you're dead. If you keep calm and still, he'll just go on swallowing. Okay, then wait patiently until he's swallowed up to your knee. Okay, so he's got your ankle, now he's getting your whole knee all the way up to your knee. Okay, then carefully take out your knife and insert it in the distended side of his mouth with a quick rip. Slit him up. You kill him. How many of you think you could wait that long? No. That'd be a lot of pressure, wouldn't it? I think I'd try to run or hope that Melinda's with me and I can outrun her. That's all that would matter. Just as long as I can outrun whoever's with me, then that'd be all right. Well, Jesus, he knew a lot about pressure. And we're going to see some of the pressure. Now, Mark's a gospel that goes fast, does a lot of things quickly. It does that, so he's talking about some things that are happening here. But he's also he's going to have rejection from his own family. He's going to have pressure from the people, pressure from the religious leaders. And he's going to help us. He's a model for us to follow. So if we'll accept the pressure that goes with faithful ministry all the way across, we'll learn how to do that, okay? So first of all, you ought to expect to be pressured by those who want something from you, okay? Look at verse 7. Jesus withdrew to the sea with his disciples, and a great multitude from Galilee followed, and also from Judea, and from Jerusalem, and from Idumea, and beyond the Jordan, and the vicinity of Tyre and Sidon. A great number of people heard of all that he was doing and came to him, and he told his disciples that a boat should stand nearby for him because of the crowd, so that they may not crowd him. For he'd healed many, with the result that all those who had afflictions pressed around in order to touch him. Whenever the unclean spirits saw him, they would fall down before him and shout, "You are the Son of God." And he earnestly warned them not to tell who he was. So see, verse 7-8 talks about how he's become very popular. He's like a rock star now, where you can't, he's pressed in. Everywhere he goes, there's a crowd pressing in on him and doing that. And he gives us two pieces of information about the crowd. First of all, it's a big crowd. It's a massive crowd. It's big, okay? The crush of humanity following Jesus, a large crowd. Verse 8, many people. Verse 9, because of the crowd, to keep people from crowding him, and he healed many. So there are a lot of people. And then notice also the crowd is made up of people from all over the Palestinian area, not just Galilee. They're from all over the areas. They've come from far and wide already to be able to do that. So there's a multi-ethnic movement in the ministry of Jesus. Now, he likes that because he wants to reach the world, and he wants to do that. So he affirms that in Matthew 28 for us to go into all the world, the Great Commission. So he's okay with that part of it. It's just that they're coming, okay? So first of all, they'll impose upon you. People will impose upon you in ministry or in your family and other things that they're like Jesus, like, they're just crowding up there with him. Wave after wave, they follow him and keep coming. Don't give him a break. We see earlier in Mark that he went at night to the mountains to pray, to get away. But here, he's already got a boat waiting for him. So he do the pressure is immense. He did that something, but it's not going to happen this time. You ever see those pictures with Jesus? He just sitting on the green grass with a little lamb beside him, a little child in his lap. That isn't what happened in his ministry. Not at all. Let's say if you were in the Goodyear blimp at this time, and you were flying over, and you look down, and you can see a little boat in the water near a crowd-filled shore. So you got your binoculars, closer look, and you spot the crowd pressing around a single man, and a handful of men are trying to push them away. So you have room, so they'll leave alone. So they won't be able to do that, but they're falling, and then you see some people get through, and then they fall down before him. Now, you don't know what's going on, but you see all of a sudden some people get through, and then they just fall down before him. And you wonder, what in the world is going on? Well, that's the picture of what's going on with him, that they're all around there and do that. And, of course, the sick trying to touch him so they can be healed. And it's really becoming a mob. And this is the first time that Mark tells us that they're reaching out to Jesus to touch him. Other times he touched them to heal them and will do some things. So he's not much a healer anymore. He's a healing power to activate. Well, if I can just touch him, if I just get around him because he touched other people, maybe I touch him. And we can kind of understand when people are sick, you want to get help. But he's trying to heal the sick and then those with demons. And he's going on about that. And that's kind of the ministry. See, they didn't care about him. They only cared what they could get from him. Because he tells them that over and over. Were they concerned about his privacy? No. Did they care about his time to be alone? No. Did they care about his need for food and rest? No. And that's true. Sometimes we work hard for the Lord. It seems like everybody's always wanting you. It's going to happen. Now, you don't understand, as far as the ministry, I can feel that. I always feel like you're in a fishbowl. I always feel like people are always expecting things from you and all that. But even when you serve the Lord in church, it seems like it can be that way. A lot of pressure to be able to do that. But Jesus withdrew, but he didn't do it out of fear. He didn't run from his problems. His time had not yet come. Because he told those who are doing that. And in verse 9, look at the job somebody had to get the boat ready. Just to get a little boat ready so he could get out, get away from the people, so he could talk to them, so he could be able to do that. See, we don't have to do a whole lot. As David said, I'd rather be a doorkeeper in the house of the Lord than anything else. It ought to be a joy to serve the Lord in every way he tells us to. Nursery, any other things, it ought to be just a joy to be able to do that, and what he has to do that for us, to have it ready just in case. Because he had to have a way out, and that was the only way he knew, so he knew that. So he's doing that. Then they'll also seek to hinder you. We see that in verse 11 and 12 when the unclean spirits were there. And they were saying, truly you are the Son of God. That's not necessarily a big problem, but he's demanding them to be quiet. Verse 12. He warned him not to tell people who he was. Now, why would he do that? Wouldn't Jesus want everybody to know who he is? Why is he doing that? Because it's not his time yet. He don't want to be forced. They're already trying to kill him. They're making plans already. And his timing has to be perfect. So it's not his time. And it's a demonic declaration of his deity. It won't help but hurt his missions. Because first of all, it's the wrong source and it's the wrong time. He doesn't want Satan and the demons telling everybody who he is. He wants people. And it's, of course, not the right time. Because time has not come yet. So that's why he's doing it. He's going to be fully revealed, but not by a demonic confession, but by the cross at Calvary. And the same got to be true for us. We have to do it in God's time. We have to do the will of God, but we all do it God's way and in God's time, right? Timing is everything, isn't it? Sure it is. And that's probably the hardest part, isn't it? To know the timing. Just like starting back after COVID. What's the timing? How to do that? What's the best thing to do? What's the best thing to do with ministry? What about Vacation Bible School? We're going to do that. How's the choir going to start back? When they're going to practice? All these other things. Should we do all these worship services? What should we be doing in those things. And we can't allow ourselves to be manipulated by ungodly agendas, such as those with COVID and other things. We've got to follow God's will, whatever it is. Secondly, we ought to expect to be pressured by those who want to be with you. Look at verse 13. He went up on the mountain and summoned those whom he himself wanted, and they came to him. So he got up the mountain by himself, and he summoned those that he wanted to be with him. And he appointed 12 so that they would be with him, and he would send them out to preach, to have authority to cast out the demons. And so he appointed the 12.